What if becoming very good at managing your capacity has also made it easier to believe it will never change? Hello everyone, Michelle Scher here from Personalised Health and Wellbeing Solutions. Thank you for joining me today. This week, we've been asking whether reduced capacity can become accepted as permanent. Not because recovery has been ruled out, but because living within a smaller range for long enough can make it feel like the only realistic future. Today, I want to distinguish between two words we often use as though they describe the same process, and they are managing versus recovery. They can support one another, but they are not the same conversation. Managing capacity is about learning how to live well with what's available today. It may mean pacing yourself, choosing carefully where your energy goes, and recognizing early signs of overload. There's real wisdom in that. For someone whose body has been under sustained strain, better management may be what creates stability in the first pass. But recovery asks a different question. Recovery asks, could what is available to me change over time? Now, that question does not promise that everything will return to how it once was. It doesn't ignore illness or injury, age or circumstance. It simply refuses to treat today's capacity as automatic evidence of tomorrow's limitations. Over the years, I've met many capable people who become exceptionally skilled at managing. They knew exactly how much they could take on. They knew which commitments would require recovery afterwards, and they knew how to keep functioning without becoming completely depleted. But sometimes the entire conversation became organised around preventing things from getting worse. No one was asking whether the conditions shaping the body's response had changed or whether the body might respond differently with more consistent support. Human biology is adaptive. We accept that prolonged stress, illness, disrupted sleep, or years of sustained responsibility can influence energy, concentration, recovery, and our tolerance for demand. That same principle invites another question, and that question is, what happens when the load changes? What happens when support becomes more specific? What happens when the body no longer has to compensate in quite the same way? The answer will not be identical for everyone, and it's rarely immediate. Recovery is not a straight line, and it should never become another standard that people feel they have either failed to meet or they have to meet. Capacity is not always as fixed as it can feel. That's why managing and recovery deserve separate language. Managing asks, what helps me live well within my capacity today? Whereas recovery asks us, what conditions might allow my capacity to develop from here? Now, both questions are valuable. The concern is that people learn to manage. It's that management that can become the final destination without anyone consciously deciding that it should be. And over time, people may stop attempting things that they once enjoyed. They may begin defining themselves by what they can no longer do. And that response is quite understandable. But today's experience is information. It's not always a forecast. So I'd love to leave you with this question. Are you managing your current capacity in a way that supports you? Or has managing gradually become evidence that no further change is possible? They're two different questions, and they open the door to very different conversations. Thank you for spending the time with me today. I hope that's got you thinking, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.